Right, my friends, how you all doing? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the first part of season 17 of the Hall of Famer, and this is the last season of the series. You've got 2 more episodes after this one. Linked above, my friends, is season 16. I did it as just 1 episode because Donut Chops here, I forgot to record a bunch of games. So yeah, feel free to go check that one out before cracking on with this. Now, today we're going to do the beginning of the season, the transfer window, all that good stuff. So let's jump on in. So season 17 starts with a quite ridiculous transfer window. I'm going to be honest with you. £430 million is what we've made in this summer window. Yes, it's an absolute joke. I basically took the stance that if you want out, you can go right now. This is the time you can leave. If not, and you want to make history, you stay at the football club. We promoted some youngsters up, but some big names have gone out through the door. First and foremost, let's talk about those outs. And the first is that of Roman Reich. Now, you obviously wouldn't know much about Roman Reich because of the way I've been doing the series, but he actually came in and was my backup right winger after Francisco Papa left the football club, and he was doing a pretty good job for me. Chelsea came in though for £55 million, and I thought, that's so much money. I paid £1 million for this player. He's not even that good. So I said, okay, Chelsea, you can have him. And we've let him have him. We've got another right winger who's been brilliant for us. And I'm going to show you the squad going into this last season before we crack on. So yeah, Roman Reich, no longer a player, £55 million. We were never going to pay him 140 grand a week that he wanted. We now move forward to the rest of the transfers. As you can see, £430 million made. Felix Dold was the next one out the door. He's gone to Juventus for £49.5 million. He was in the last year of his deal and refused to sign a new one. So I thought, I'm not waiting around, I'm cashing in. So just under £50 million for the German midfielder, who, I'm going to be honest, was kind of starting to reach his ceiling anyway. He'd joined for £7 million some time ago, went out on a couple of loans. The last 2 seasons has been a bit part player for the first team and had been pretty good, but he goes to Juve from now on. The next one to have left the football club is that of Andre van der Bogard, and 2 players have gone to Hertha Berlin. That makes them they've signed 8 players from us over the course of this FM universe, which is pretty ridiculous, to be honest with you. They've just won the league, though, so it's obviously helped. So Andre van der Bogard was the first one. Again, you probably wouldn't know too much about him, but he was a bit part player at the back for us. Last season made 7 appearances in the Premier League, 9 appearances all in all. Had actually not been too bad for us as a bit of a backup option. 13 and just under 40 million we paid for him, £34 million we got better defenders. That's basically why I sold him, and that is basically the end of that gang. The next one is that of Stuart Cornish. You will have remembered him from one of the transfer windows that we've done during the course of the tail end of this series. And he just wanted first team football and was basically kicking up a stink, and it was winding me up. 39 million we've got for him. We've signed him for 28 and had add-ons of up to 68 million. So I think it just made sense to move him on. He'd made a fair amount of appearances, 17 the first year, 12 last year. I think it was probably the right thing to move him on, though. Hadn't developed how I would have quite liked him to. Next up was that of Danny Bernhardt. He went for 350k, just a youngster that was never really going to materialise. Lewis Metcalf went out on loan. Then Nahul Quartez, might be a surprise to a lot of you, has left the football club as well. He was a really, really stable player for us on the left-hand side, but for £57 million with just 1 year left on his contract, it kind of made sense. And to be honest, his form had been on the decline as well, so I think it was about time we moved the player on. You're going to see last season wasn't the greatest of years for him, but £57 million for a player we paid £3.8 million for and was in the last 12 months, I think made complete sense. Wish him well as he goes off to Leipzig. Next up, a loan move for Jordan Kavanagh to Dartford. Then Jonas Reicher. This might be a huge surprise to a lot of you, but again, it was another player in the last year of his contract, and Reicher wanted £400,000 a week and wouldn't budge. Usually you can get him to budge a little. He wouldn't budge. He's gone to Real Madrid for 325k, so he budged for them, but he wouldn't budge for me. At 28, I just felt like it might have been the right time to sell him on. £60 million is what we get for the player, and he's been a legend for the football club. £54 million we paid for him, and he has been electric. His worst season though to date last year, so maybe this was the right time to sell on. Next up is Pesic. He's gone out on loan. We've got Lawrence Nichols has left the football club for 550k. We've got other players going out on loan. These are players that have signed for the club recently. Stuart Nakawa, he went for 2.4 million. He was just a youngster that wasn't going to develop. We've got loads of other players going out on loan. Then this one is a mad deal. Leon Boxleitner. £70 million up front plus 2 players, and they're 2 players that have got bags of potential. I actually think I've got a very good deal here. I'm gutted to lose Boxleitner, but he wanted the move. He basically kicked off when they came in for him. I obviously wanted really good money. I wanted close to the 100 million he was worth, and obviously they didn't have that kind of money available, but they did have some good players. So they threw them in when I asked for them, and that's what we got, gang. So I'm pretty happy. 300 grand a week though he's earning at Juventus. No wonder he wanted the move. Again, a really good player for us. Cost us 50 million, and I think we've done quite well to get a little bit of profit plus a couple of youth players for it as well. We're not going to see the best of those youth players because this is the last season, but I still think it's a good deal all in all. Simpson's gone out on loan, and we've got Javon Edwards has left the club. And then another huge transfer, and it's Simeon Novelay. And a lot of you might be looking at this transfer window and going, what are you doing, Dan? You're breaking up the band. They're all dispersing. They're all going their own ways. Yes, but Novelay have just got 150 million for in the last year of his deal, and he's earning £500,000 a week at Bayern Munich. It's mental money. 265 million I've taken off of Bayern Munich for 2 players. There you go. Who's the mug? Not me. But yeah, I'm sad because Novelay is obviously a firm favourite of everybody's. He actually played a game for us this season before moving on. But it had to be done. He didn't want to stay. He wasn't going to stay past this year of his contract. And I just felt like, yep, okay, we'll let you go then. We paid 38 million for him. We always do well most of the time in the transfer window at getting the right money for players. And I just felt like, it was the right time to kind of let him go. He really did turn into a good player though. That is far better than the player that we originally signed way back when. So that was Novelay, and Brian Lee has gone out on loan. So we made 430 million in this transfer window. Now, we did reinvest it, and this is what we've reinvested it in. And to be honest with you, a bunch of it is youngsters, but there are a couple there that are coming into the first team. So the first one is Sir Garafi. He is a youngster. He's out on loan at Apoel for the season, as you can see. Attributes look really, really good, and there's lots of potential there. We paid £1.8 million for him. Absolute peanuts, in my opinion, for the young Israeli midfielder. Victor Plejo, I'm not sure how we're pronouncing that. He comes in for 6 million up front, 12 million with add-ons, and is our new backup goalkeeper, basically. I think he is a very good-looking 19-year-old goalkeeper. We needed some substantial kind of backup. We had a few injuries with Gomez last year, and I feel like we need to start kind of planning for the future. Konstantin Yordi's next, 8.25 million. It was his minimum fee release clause, and he's a right-sided midfielder, 18 years of age. He's got lots and lots of potential, and he too has gone out on loan to Apoel for the season. Next up, we have got Facundo Iya, and he comes into the first team. £34 million up front, can go up to 50-odd million range, and he's an attacking midfielder. And basically, I'm going to show you the team in a minute, but Ovchinnikov has been converted to a centre mid, box to box, and he's been class in that position. So we now have Iya as a backup to Kabamba to rotate those 2 players. What a good-looking prospect he is at 21 years of age. We move on to the next one, and it's that of Edgardo Perez. He's a youngster. He's going to be going out on loan this season, a Uruguayan youngster. And he just comes in to the club for 2.1 million. I thought it was a relatively low fee for a player with pretty good attributes, but he can get a lot better. So yeah, we've kind of been investing in the future, because you have to remember, when I was doing this, there was a future. I didn't know how many more seasons I was going to go for. Pablo Almata and the next player I'm going to show you are the 2 players that were in the part exchange deal for Boxleitner. So this is an attacking midfielder. 18 years of age, who comes into the football club. He's on quite big wages. We're going to probably loan him out for the season, but as you can see, a pretty good looking prospect. And then the other player that came in alongside him as part of that deal was João Ribeiro, and he is a striker, Portuguese, and he's got bags of potential as well. I was really surprised, to be honest, that they let both of those players go as part of that part exchange, but we had to get that money from somewhere, and that's basically where we got it from. Rashid Bunda is the next one, £31 million. It was the only way I was going to get him. It was his minimum fee release clause, and I have overpaid, but then he's English, so there's always that little bit of extra tax on top. He's going to be our backup left winger this season, but as you can see, a pretty well-rounded player, and I think it's time for him to get his breakthrough in the first team game. Then a replacement for Raisha was Mehdi Masoudi, but you're going to see as the season goes on, he does not get in the team because our other left back completely outperforms. But yes, brilliant looking left back, in my opinion, ready-made to just kind of come in and get involved in the first team. He was £47 million, potentially going up to 70. My only concern was he was a little bit short and his jumping reach was poor, something we didn't have with Raisha, and it kind of showed in the early season. And then Ramon Arts was available for loan, and so I took him on loan from Chelsea, and I don't know why they're loaning him out, but they were, and he looks pretty good. My issue is he's relatively short for a centre-back, but we'll see what happens with Ramon Arch in the season. So if I show you the squad, this is how it looks. Two goalkeepers, you can see we've still got our staples at the back. Francois Diabate really coming on, going to be a staple this season. Tom Overton is our other left-back, looking like a solid prospect, isn't he now, an England regular. Declan Rice is still here at 36, ladies and gentlemen. A bit part player these days, only made 13 appearances last year, but still going strong with the football club. Aaron Gorman is a staple in the midfield. Incredible to be saying that, considering that we bought him all the way back then for 275k, and now he's really starting to get his chance in the first team. We've got Edmund Desmet, a youngster who has been promoted up to the first team as well. Dennis Dramax coming on nice. We've got Mauro Semina, who is going to be our right-sided option this season as the backup player after the sale of our other right winger. Makoko, Neil, Zakina, Kabamba of Chinakov. Simitos is now part of the first team, unbelievably. He's a bit of a bit part player, but he's just going to be in and around the first team in case we need him, which is incredible because we bought him ages ago. And then you've got Ia, right, Bundu, Poria, Sibanda. That's the team going in to this season. And as a season preview is concerned, we're 10 to 11 on to win the league. You can see lots of players have been removed from the Dream 11 now. Only Arts, Cruz, Kabamba, Zakina, Sibanda and Makoko remain in there, which is a real surprise. But I'm hoping for another dominant season in the Premier League, as they've suggested. It's now time, though, for the two opening games this season. And for the first game of today's episode, we are taking on Manchester United in the Community Shield final. We're doing this as we've been doing it. We're going to go 3 episodes, cover the games properly. Again, apologies for last season. It was just silly old me recording a bit weird. Now, I'm not going to be covering any England. I probably should have said that at the beginning of this, but England have not played any games at this point in the first part of this season. But next episode, we'll be covering them extensively, as we will be playing a bunch of Euro qualifiers. So that will be exciting to cover both West Ham and the national team in next episode. Ball comes in early on, 8 minutes, 22 seconds on the clock, and Sabanda puts West Ham United 1-0 to the good in this Community Shield final. See, I'm so used to being in the Carabao Cup final. That's why I always say it. But 1-0 to West Ham, and let's hope that's a sign of things to come in this early season final. I know it's a glorified friendly, but there is a cup on the line, and we've hit the crossbar as well. It's brilliant closing down from Yusufa Makoko, who is 31 now, ladies and gentlemen. At this stage, he is aging at an alarming rate. I just wasn't keeping up with it, but it just shows you how far in to the game we really are. 17 seasons. Not very often I go that deep, but we have this time, and I think it'll be good to do a real kind of proper breakdown of everything we've done in the Hall of Famer as and when the time comes and as and when it is finito. By the way, this is the last season, and I just want you to know that that doesn't actually mean we have definitely got to the top of the Hall of Fame. I just decided to call it quits after this season. So I'm not giving it away whether we are number 1, number 2, number 3. Obviously, we finished last season number 3. I'm not going to give it away until the final ball is kicked. But yeah, there's no guarantees we've done it. I'd got to a point with the game, and I think that we finished on a really nice point with the team, and I just wanted to call it quits, and I didn't want to go any longer. So yeah, there's no guarantees that we've actually done it, gang. Free kick here. That's a lovely free kick and a really, really good header. But good save from the Manchester United reserve goalkeeper. And that's exactly what Coelho is, as Vasquez is usually their number 1. Right, though, into Ia. He comes wide to right. Running up the wing. Lovely ball. Really good defending. Had he not defended it, it's definitely 2-0. It's a bit rushed from United back there. Overton. And Ia's going to dance in. And it's a really good save from the keeper again. Jesus, if their number 2's as good as this, I don't know how the number 1 gets in. It's a ridiculous game. But look at the first half. 11 shots to their 0. Dominating that possession. Very much on top. You can see the sale of some of those big names really hasn't affected the football club too much this year, has it? Obviously, you're going to see the starting lineup. We're playing Kabamba in midfield next to Zakina. Just something I was trying out in this game. I wanted to see if Kabamba was capable of doing it. As the season goes on, Ovchinnikov really comes into his own. I can tell you that much. Half time is done and dusted. Tom Overton does have a little bit of a knock, and I'm going to bring Nicholas Wright off, and I'm going to bring Dramak on as well. A couple of changes at half time. Energy levels, looking after players, and just making sure we don't start the new season with an abundance of injuries. As Ia now with the ball back to Alfonso, who drives forward, and he gets the shot off as well. That's very unlike the centre back. Doesn't get to do that all too often. Playing next to Diabate in this game, and they become an absolute staple of a defensive partnership throughout this final season with West Ham. 55 minutes almost on the clock in this final, and it's looking pretty good for West Ham at this current stage. Well on their way to winning the game with the amount of chances created and the possession being dominated. The hour mark has now ticked over. And we've had a bit of a quiet moment, but now Diabate on the ball into Alfonso, into Sakina in the midfield. Alfonso again, he comes wide to Dramak, now into Sabanda. Ball is lost. Sakina though, he finds Makoko, and this is really good football, and it's going to be Semino on his debut for West Ham United. An instant impact for the youngster who finally gets his chance in claret and blue. What a goal for the little Argentinian. And I say that because he's only 5'5". He's a microscopic ant of a player. The complete opposite to Novale, who left the club in the summer. This is Quayo on the ball now for Manchester United. Are they going to make anything happen? They've been really slow and sluggish in this Community Shield final, but they do break forward now. And Perez Lazarte comes forward, but that's easy work for Andre Gomez in goal, who has been probably one of the other absolute standout players. Couple of bit of tactical work, as you can see, from past me, as I was making sure that we were holding on to the result as we head into the 70-odd minute with 20 minutes to go in this, and West Ham very much at the moment in cruise control and really enjoying their time in the Community Shield final. Sabanda is going to come off for Paria. Going to look after him, make sure all is well going into the brand new season. Ball comes wide for Manchester United now though. Ball in, and it's a really good header from Windsor, to be fair. Lots of power and precision, and it's straight past Andre Gomez. And just like that, after being pretty shocking for the majority of this game, Manchester United are well and truly back in this one with not long to go in the Community Shield final as well. Remember, it does go straight to penalties, so another goal for Manchester United would be absolutely massive for them. We are going to continue to do some more tactical work as we want to be sure to win the game. We've missed that a bit, but it was a cross from Makoko, a header from Zakina, and that is 3-1, and that should be job done with a little over sort of 5 minutes to go now. Really, really good professional performance from West Ham. There is another highlight. We flick back just in case. It's a good tackle from United. It's out now into the striker. He spreads the play. It's a very quick counter-attack for Manchester United right now as Windsor gallops down the wing. It's good football from them. It's back into him. It's into Voss, and they've managed to get another goal back. Unbelievably, from a West Ham throw-in, United go straight up the other end and score a goal. It's 3-2 now. Are West Ham going to reply again and get that 2-goal cushion, or is it going to be enough with 5 minutes of added on time? United with the throw-in. It's theirs. It's straight into Gomez, though. It's a poor cross in the end. Didn't put the pressure on that they really so desperately needed. Gomez didn't have many options, but it's a ball into Makoko. It's absolute route one, and it's won the game for West Ham United. What a ball from Andre Gomez to the striker. Sabanda gets one, Sabino gets one, Zakina gets one, Makoko finishes it, and West Ham United are going to win another Community Shield. What an effort. And so here we go. Next game, and it is Tottenham taking on West Ham in the UEFA Super Cup. What a rivalry to meet in this final. It means Tottenham obviously won the Europa League last season. They've stopped bottling it and they've finally won themselves a trophy as West Ham are going out to win another Super Cup. Hopefully they will have their hands on the trophy come full time in the game. Early doors, it is West Ham and it is Kabamba. We hit our own player, but it doesn't matter because Stefan Kruj, of all players, was on the edge of the box to mop up and pass that straight past the goalkeeper. What a effort from the German right back. Lovely to see him on the score sheet. He is the official club captain now. Declan Rice is obviously in the twilight of his career, very much at the end, not playing regular football, and we needed a new captain. And that there looked very much onside to me. What a ball from Kabamba. I don't know who scored it though. Was it Alfonso? Was it Zakina? They're both highlighted. I'm just not sure who got the final touch. Who was it? It was Zakina with the final touch there. 2-0 to West Ham already in this cup final. That's a beautiful touch from Diabate to take that past the on-rushing striker. Now into Makoko, who is going to take it wide. It's into Zakina now. Back to Alfonso. Into Zakina again. Desmet, who's playing this game. Kruj up the wing to Nicholas Wright. He passes across. It's 3-0 in 18 minutes. West Ham are absolutely destroying Tottenham Hotspur in this UEFA Super Cup final. What an effort. You're going to see the team. Kruj, Diabate, Alfonso, Dramak, Desmet, Zakina, Wright, Kabamba, Sabanda, Makoko. Nice to give a couple of the youngsters some game time in this one. And it's really working out for West Ham at the moment as early on it's complete dominance as Makoko now nicks the ball, and he really should have done better. He really should have done better. He stole the ball from the defender, and all he needed to do was pass it past the keeper, and he couldn't manage it. It's a really good start from West Ham in this first 30 minutes of the Super Cup final. They are well en route to lift this trophy again, but as we've seen in the past, anything can happen on any given day. Tottenham could well and truly, should they wish, come back in this game and actually get going, because it's been a poor start for Tottenham, hasn't it, in this game. Nearly 40 minutes, nearly at the half-time stage, and West Ham very much in control. But yeah, like I've been saying, 2 more parts to the series. I want you to let me know in the comments what's been your favourite part so far. Favourite team I've managed, especially if you're one that's watched from the beginning. I'd really appreciate you letting me know. I am going to be announcing all my new stuff very soon with FM23, hopefully just around the corner, gang. I think that will be absolutely amazing to start telling you my plans going forward. 3-0. Unbelievable. Could be more. Could be more. 11 shots, 8 on target, 48% of the possession. And it's been well controlled by West Ham in the game. Does have to be said, doesn't it? Hoping the second half just whizzes on by, because I've just looked up and there's not much space left on the camera. Uh-oh. It's a race against time now, isn't it? Hopefully it's just going to race on by as it is with, both of them kind of racing each other at the end of the day. Makoko on the football. That's into Sabanda. Back to Makoko, who drives up the wing. Really good stuff from him. Inside to Kabamba. Really good stuff. We came wide. It was a really poor pass, though. And now Fabian Silva's going to get a chance to go forward. David Law, of all people. He's playing for Tottenham Hotspur these days. Header over the bar. He is an ex-midfielder that we had. Unbelievable to see him playing for the bitter rivals that are Tottenham Hotspur. Really surprised to kind of see him there, ladies and gents. If my camera goes off, I'm going to apologise. I really feel like it's going to, because I know how much time's left on there, and I know how much time is left on the recording. And yes, I haven't timed that properly. Silly old me, silly old sausage. It is one of those things, though, gang. It can't be avoided, can it? Tottenham now on the football, coming forward. Radaby was a player of ours when we were at Graza as well. And that is David Law, of all players, scores a goal for Tottenham and gets them back into the game. Unbelievable stuff, isn't it? It really is at times. You can't make it up. We have made some changes. Amato, Waltz have come onto the game. I fancy giving a few youngsters a run out. We were 3-0 up and cruising, and now I'm a little bit worried there could be a potential comeback on for Tottenham. But, we've got the players on the pitch, and we just got to wait and see what happens now. Passing the ball around nicely, though, I can tell you that much, until we lose the football. Unbelievably. And Tottenham are going to come forward with just under 20 minutes to go in this UEFA Super Cup final. Passing it around very nicely. It's David Law again. And David Law is at the crossbar this time. Unbelievable run from deep for the midfielder. And nearly wins them the game. Really, really good stuff from the midfielder. Why couldn't he have done that when he was a West Ham player? He didn't do it enough and didn't show it enough, and it's why he ended up getting sold to Wolves all that time ago. Nearly at the 80-minute mark, and I know there's about 10 seconds left on the recording, which is really rubbish because we were nearly there and we just didn't quite make it on the one camera roll, but it doesn't matter. There'll be a quick blink and then I'll be back, my friends. There you go. I'm right back in the action straight away. That's what we're talking about. And then it's Diabate on the football into Alfonso. It's all gone a bit scrappy for West Ham in the second half. We were totally dominant in the first and just haven't made the most of it, have we? It's lost again. Tottenham really up for it in the second half, battling. They don't want to lose this Super Cup final to their bitter rivals. As Gonçalves is through, and Gonçalves has scored for Tottenham. He's made it 3-2 after West Ham were cruising at 3-0 up. We demand more out of the team. Volts, Amato, Gorman, none of them have come on and really kind of made too much of an effort. The youngsters not proving themselves. We've got Dramat now on the corner. The corner comes in. It's a good header. It's a good save, but it's ended up in the net, and I don't know if it's going to count. It'll be phenomenal if it does. Is it going to count? No, it's not. It was a brilliant corner. Great header. And it's just a shame that Alfonso was in an offside position. But not long to go now, and hopefully West Ham can hold on to what's left of the game, see it out, and be crowned Super Cup champions again. Seconds to go, and there you have it. West Ham have done it. And so there you have it. We've won those 2 opening games, ladies and gentlemen. A 4-2 in the Community Shield and a 3-2 in the Super Cup. Some amazing football. And again, we're facing off against all English finals, aren't we? But we have played 2 games in the Premier League. A 2-0 against Brentford, Sabanda the scorers, and a 4-0 against Southampton. Makoko hat-trick and a Sabanda goal. So that is the beginning of this season. Let's take a look at the competition screen. As you can see, our Champions League group has been drawn. Dortmund, Club Brugge and Celtic this season. Winners of those 2 cups in Carabao, in the Emirates. And as the Premier League looks, we're second at this early stage of the season. Makoko continues where he left off last year. Sabanda, absolutely electric with 3 assists already. Let's hope it's another season to remember. And so there you have it, my friends. We are done and dusted for another episode of the Hall of Fame. I do hope you've enjoyed it. I really appreciate you joining me. There's only 2 more to go after this. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, though, if you're enjoying the Football Manager content and you're looking forward to the future FM23 content as and when that is announced. Drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed this and be sure to get involved in the comment section below. But until next time, stay safe, stay humble, and I'll see you real soon.